I am going on a little day trip tomorrow and I thought it would be fun to bring you along. There are two yarn shops in Nürnberg that I have visited a couple of times before, but I was never planning anything when I stopped by. I always went by chance and I never knew what I needed, so I never brought anything home. This time I actually made a plan. I have my winter projects in mind, the yarns I need for each one, and a little budget set aside for the day. I live in a small town and we do not have any yarn shops around here, so I usually shop online or travel to bigger cities. These two shops carry brands that are not easy to find, even online, at least around here, so I am really excited to finally see everything in person. And since it's December, I thought I would make it a whole cozy day, yarn shopping, a little walk around the city, and then the Christmas market with all the twinkly lights and handmade things. And I am really looking forward to it. So let's go! And good morning from a very sleepy me. I always love this quiet moment on the way to the train when the streets is too slow and the day is just starting to wake up. I woke up too early, so this little cup of coffee is doing all the heavy lifting right now. It was trickier to get everything inside my project bag, but I did it. I brought a few colorful yarns with me because I'm hoping to find matching mohair for each shade for a new project I want to start soon. So first things first, I needed to reorganize my backpack a bit to make it easier to grab everything once I get to the shop. And we made it to Nürnberg. The central station was beautifully decorated for Christmas, even though it was still light outside, so the sparkle was a little shy. To get to the first yarn shop, we have to walk through this really cool building with an old tower from the early days of the city, and then a tiny corner of the Christmas market. I am really excited, but first we see yarn and then we come back for the twinkly lights. And here we are at our first stop. The shop sits on Weihnacht Street, right beside the Christmas market, so you can already feel the cozy festive atmosphere as you walk up to it. Tolle is such a gorgeous yarn shop. It's been here since 1981 and the shelves go all the way from the floor up to the ceiling. You instantly feel like you're surrounded by yarn, which is every yarn lover's dream. They carry so many brands from Isager and Istex to BC Yarn, Rowan, Lamana, Juniper Moon, Lana Grossa, Noru, Itu, and so many others. You can find every kind of fiber here, from everyday basics to really special treats, and pretty much any color you can imagine. It's a kind of place where you could happily spend ages just looking around, taking in all the textures and colors. So let's head inside and take a look. They also sell finished hand knits and they are beautifully displayed above the sea of yarn. I saw hats, cardigans, sweaters, and the prices vary a lot depending on the piece, but they are also lovely to look at. And I found the first yarn on my wish list for today. This is a base from Lana Grossa I have never tried. It is an alpaca and silk blend and I am taking some home with me. And yes, I climbed on a little stool to reach the top shelves. Anything for yarn. When I was leaving the shop, I came across this. A little carriage with bells and two gorgeous horses just slowly making their way down the street. I followed them for a moment because they had the sweetest postal sign on the side, reminding us of how our yarn purchases would have been delivered back in the day, long before online orders and express deliveries. Our second shop today is actually the sister shop of the one we just visited. It is in the same building and they opened it around 5 years ago to make space for all the finished sweaters and clothing pieces and also to host meetups and cozy afternoons with knitting magazines. I should have paid more attention to the sweaters near the entrance, but I was already thinking about the yarn. The pieces I saw were gorgeous though, and the prices were mostly between 100 and 200 euros. This is where they keep most of their Isaga yarn and also some Noro, including the beautiful Noro Madara, plus Juniper Moon and other brands. They also sell some really pretty pottery with delicate little motifs. I wanted to bring home a soap dish to use for stitch markers and things, but they all had holes on the bottom, so no luck today. What I love about these two shops is that they carry so many different bases from each yarn company and in almost every colorway. That is not easy to find where I live, so shopping here feels like a little dream and makes my hands itch to cast on something new. I managed to find everything that was on my wish list, but we'll take a closer look at those later. For now, it was time for a little lunch break, and I chose a restaurant that has been serving grilled sausages since 1312, with iron plates and heavy mugs. I was so hungry that I forgot to press record, so we are skipping right to the Christmas market. I spent most of the afternoon around the main square facing one of the town's churches. It was just starting to get dark, so the twinkly lights were slowly waking up, and the whole square felt like it was settling into its evening glow. The stalls were filled with handmade treasures, candles, chocolates, beautiful woodworking, and so many Christmas ornaments that you could spend ages just admiring all the tiny details. Today I was mostly drawn to fiber-related crafts. I spotted felted decorations, handmade socks, delicate crochet pieces, all the kind of things that make you want to rush home and cast something on. And of course, I had to get chocolate covered strawberries because it is my seasonal weakness, but they were already sold out, so a banana it was. And honestly, it's still delicious. The whole market felt so charming and cozy, I could have wandered around for much longer. It was getting late and I was absolutely freezing at this point. The whole day stayed below 3 degrees, and after walking around for hours, my hands felt like little ice cubes. So I slowly made my way back through the side streets toward the station, taking in the last little bits of the Christmas market glow. It felt like the perfect way to wrap up the day, and I will see you again once I'm back home. Hi. I was so tired when I got home yesterday that I just left everything over there and went to bed. Didn't open a single bag. So we are unpacking everything today. First of all, the yarns I brought with me from home, hoping to find matching mohair. Well, I didn't find a single one. Everything is still here, so I'll have to hunt for matching mohairs online. And now my Christmas sweater, the project I brought with me to work on the train. I just ended up staring at the window and worked on a couple of stripes on the sleeve. So this project hasn't seen much progress. I have to do it here at home. I don't usually find that comfortable to work on the train. Everything has to sit on my lap. I don't have much space around me. So I don't usually need a lot when I'm on the train. But now let's go to my acquisitions because I am really excited about those. I got a couple of things from the Christmas market and I'm going to share them with you because they are handmade and really cute. I'm trying to be as careful as I possibly can with the crinkling noise from this paper bag. So I think I'm just going to take everything out of the bag to avoid any issues. Yeah, I think that's the right call. So the first thing I got is this little candle, rainbowy candle. And I'm going to gift to my mom, combined with this little set of Belgian chocolates. They're all handmade and I just loved them so much. The lady on the booth was so nice, so I got this little set to give to her. And I got myself a little keychain, this wooden heart, also handmade. I always like to add little keepsakes, momentums to my keychain, and every time I travel and find something that reminds me of that travel or that day. So I got this one to represent yesterday's trip. And the last thing I got from the Christmas market is a little glass bowl to put a candle inside. I already have 3 tiny little candle things to put a tea light candle inside, and this time I decided to get a bigger one. This is also so cute. When they put a candle inside, it lights up everything and I really love it. I love this tent they have in every single Christmas market I went so far, and I really love them. So now let's go to the main event, which is my yarny acquisitions. From the first shop I got just mohair for some projects I have in mind. I don't want to share my winter plans just yet because I'm still making some final adjustments and I want to make sure everything is looking just right before I share them with you. What I got is a few skeins of this Lana Grossa Cetasuri. I don't know how to pronounce that. This is lace weight alpaca, I hope. That's what I was thinking when I bought this yarn. This is 69% alpaca, 31% silk. I never knitted with this yarn, so I'm really excited to try it out. And I got two different colorways. This one is a really white, a true white, and a light beige one. I also got a couple of skeins of that. This is colorway number 2, and the white one is colorway number 1. And this is all I got from the first yarn shop. Just a few skeins to work on some winter plans that I will share very soon. And from the second shop, this is what I'm most excited about. This is all new to me yarn. I've never tried any of the things I've got, so I'm really excited about that. The first one I got is Isager Tweed in the colorway navy. Is it navy? Yes, in the colorway navy. This is 70% wool and 30% mohair, 200 meters and 50 grams. I am really excited to work with this, and I'm going to use this and my next acquisition on the same project. This is Isager Soft. On the website it says EcoSoft, but the label only says Isager Soft. I hope I got the right thing. This looks like a chain construction with a lot of fuzz. I got this really light medium beige. This is colorway E6S, and this yarn is 56% alpaca and 44% organic cotton. And I plan on pairing this with my tweedy yarn. Oh, it's going to look so good. And oh, I almost dropped everything. And I also got a couple of skeins, well, yarn balls from this Isager Alpaca 1. I've already worked with this yarn before, and I loved it so much as a mohair substitute. This is colorway 100, and it is 100% lace weight alpaca. Let me see if I can show you the colorway. Yeah, like a navy blue, dark blue, really lovely. And I also got my last two acquisitions. I got two skeins of Juniper Moon Farm Patagonia organic merino. This is so lovely. I was so excited to get my hands on a couple of skeins of this yarn. This is colorway Mulberry. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. It is a dark pink. I am terrible at describing colors. I think you guys already know that, but it's really lovely, and I have plans on casting on with this yarn very soon, maybe before the end of the year. Well, no, I think I'm being too optimistic, but definitely first days of January. Yeah, I think that's more realistic. But this is all I got from yesterday's yarny trip, adventure, if you want to call it that. This trip felt different for me. I went to Nürnberg with such a clear plan, the yardage I needed, the colors I was hoping to find, and a little list of yarns I've been curious about for so long. I don't keep a big stash, so when I do buy yarn, I want it to be really intentional, and it just felt right to go somewhere where I could finally see these brands in person. Like I said, I'm still adjusting my winter plans, so I want to make sure everything feels right before I say anything out loud, but there are a few winter projects I'm really excited about. And before Christmas, I want to share my winter knitting plans with you, along with a few reflections on my 2025 knitting and maybe some soft goals for 2026. But overall, I'm just really glad I took this little day trip. It felt good to slow down a little bit, explore a new city, visit these beautiful yarn shops, and walk around the Christmas market with all the lights and handmade things. It was such a simple plan, but it turned out a really cozy day. Thank you so much for spending this day with me. I was a little bit overwhelmed going into filming this vlog, but it ended up being such a lovely day. If you enjoyed this slower, cozy style, feel free to subscribe, come say hi in the comments. I'd love to know what you're working on right now, or if you visited any Christmas market this season. I'm excited to settle down with these yarns over the next few days, warm up a cup of tea, and start shaping those winter plans. I'll see you soon and happy knitting. Bye!